Okay.
My computer is outdated.
Yeah.
So my daughter told me just take it into the store.
Take it into the store, yeah.
So I have to do that.
You can do that. When do you leave, Kate? 17. You leave on Wednesday. Yeah. After you come back, if it's still not resolved, I'll ask you to do a little bit of. Yes. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saham Viryam Karapavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahantam. Oh, Mahastram, yes. Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. Sharam Hyupasa Nishitam Sandhagita. Sandhagita. Ayamya tadbhavagatena manasa cetasa. Ayamya tadbhavagatena cetasa. Lakshyam tadevaksharam somya vidhi. Lakshyam tadevaksharam somya vidhi. Yeah. So, the word Om is something which is very familiar. It is everything, and it's got the distinction of being unable to mispronounce, unlike other Sanskrit words. This is one word which nobody can mispronounce, even if you tried. Of course, that doesn't prevent the people, but as we'll see later on. But still, it's something which is really wonderful. And if we look at it, let's look at it grammatically first. Grammatically, how do you derive the word Om? Comes from ava, rakshane, ava to protect. So Om is a protection. Protection from what? From yourself, really. From all those clingy, what's the word for it? Clinging, the afflicted, clinging to afflictions, clinging to objects, clinging from that clingy self. From that self which thinks it is the ultimate, when in fact it is just a shadow. It's relative. It's not absolute. So the Om promises freedom from that clinging self. It's a cleanser, purifier, and so here grammatically, how does it do that? By protecting who you are. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha is a phrase from the Ishavasya Upanishad. How do you protect yourself? By giving up. Protect the self by giving up everything that is no self. Very interesting. Protect Atma. How? Atma needs protection? No, Atma doesn't need protection. Anatma needs protection. Anatma doesn't need protection. Who needs protection? The ahankara that is identified with anatma. The ego, the I notion which is clinging on to anatma, that needs protection. And that needs to be told, Ajao, come here. You belong here, not there. That's what this pointing finger is told. You don't belong with these fellows, body-mind complex, body-mind senses. You belong here. That's what is VSL. What is VSL? Vedantic Sign Language. Yeah, that's what it is. Not ASL, VSL. And so it is. So the Om is a way of calling back. That's why it likened it to the bell. It calls you back, and that is the greatest form of protection. And it's also a protection. That is from the standpoint of knowledge. It's a protection because it stops the mind, it stops the eye from grazing into the grasses, the pastures of the not I. In that sense, it's a protection. Also, it's a protection because Om means Ishvara. There is no Brahman without being Ishvara. So, Om is Ishvara. So, when you say Om, you are invoking Ishvara plus Jagat, Ishvara without Jagat in both manners. So, there also it's a protection. Avati Rakshati iti Om. Rakshati, Avati. That which protects, that which is, that which is a protection is called Om. So, but how from Ava you get Om? Well, here is a little primer in grammar, just for fun. Okay? You put a suffix called manin. Manin is the in goes away because of it, and then you get only man. Ava plus man. Man is a suffix which gives the word to which it is attached an agent feeling. So, here ava means to protect in the sense of protection. Ava plus man becomes what? Protector. Gives like trich. It's like trich, but it's a different kind of a suffix. Ava plus man. Now what do we have? We don't have Om, we have ava man. Yeah. But then there is a sutra that says whenever you have whenever you have vakara, upadha vakarayoho, oot, so whenever you have a vakara, where is vakara? Va, ava, correct? So, what you convert the whole word into oo. So, we had avaman, now what happens? Ooman. Ooman? That also doesn't sound like Om. What are you doing here? Just, having a little glimpse of Sanskrit. Ooman. O plus man. But that is not Om. No, it is not. Well, one more rule. And what is that rule? Whenever the man suffix comes into the picture, whatever comes in front of it takes guna. What is the guna for oo? O. So now what do we have? Oman. But that's a country. Somewhere in the Middle East. That's not Om. Wait. One more sutra. This time it is not Paninian Sutra, it is called Unadi Sutra. Ti lopa. Te lopa. Ti here means acho antyat ti. Yeah. So meaning the last syllable here, that which is the last syllable, which is what? An. The nakara lopa. So te lopa. Lopa means it goes away. So the an goes away. So we have what? Om. The na goes away. This is linguistically derived Om, grammatically derived Om, which now has become, which is fortified as an agent of protection. Om, the ultimate protector, because Om refers to the ultimate, so therefore it's the ultimate protector. Okay? Say yes, even if you don't want to say yes. Yeah. Yes. This is just to show you how the word is derived. That it is grammatically ratified. That it's not something made up. That is why it is important to know. It is a Sanskrit word. It is not somebody just sat and made it up. It's grammatically derived and valid Sanskrit word. Now, phonetically, if we look at it, and we already started to do that when we said it cannot be mispronounced. It cannot be mispronounced because phonetically it is made up of a, u, m. A plus u becomes o, om. But how do you get this? What is the first syllable? You just open your mouth and make a sound? Ah. Close your mouth and make a sound. Mm. So that's the first syllable and the last syllable. But what about oo, that which stands for everything in between? Oh, you round it all up. That's why the mouth is in the round shape. You pucker the lips because everything is rounded up. Oh, and it's incorrect to say ow. Yeah, it's like a dog yawning, You can't say ow. There are certain rules. This is an internal sandhi, an internal marriage of the syllables. And we have certain rules. Like if the teacher and student are sitting together, you can't come in between. You can't come in between physically, you can't come in between verbally. You have to wait till they finish and then you talk. That's a rule. And never go in between a married couple, another rule. So you go around them, you don't go in between them. Never go between a mother and a small infant. That also cannot be separated because the infant is totally dependent on the mother. The married couple, they are committed to one another, so what are you doing in between? You don't go in between. And so a grammarian has said that similarly, you don't do violence to the marriage between the syllables. You don't go in between or you tear them apart and pronounce them separately. So Om it is. It's a universal sound and it's a sound of comfort because it's a sound of protection. And only thing is the cows have it backwards. That's all. So this is what is phonetically. This is what we see. And then Vedically, scripturally, Om has a sanction that makes it fit for Upasana meditation. How does it make it fit for Upasana? It makes it fit for Upasana precisely because it has a certain, the Veda has loaded the word Om with certain attributes to describe that which is free of attributes. So the so-called attributes are loaded. And we find this talked about in the Mandukya Upanishad, which begins with the proclamation, Om is everything. That which is here now, Om. That which was there before, Om. That which is yet to come, Om. Anything else that has been left out, Om. That which is the source of everything, Om. That from which everything has come, Om. Everything is Om. So what about me? Om. You are included because we are talking of the limitless. And so very ingeniously, it has loaded each syllable with a significance that just is mind-boggling. Let us take a small look. A is the origin, correct? Yeah. Because it's the first sound that is made upon opening the mouth. The mouth that was previously shut is now opened to break from the throat to create a sound A. And so the A stands for the waker. Who, me? Yes, if you are awake, you are being addressed. A, waker. A waker? No. A is equal to waker. Waker, why? Because that's the first sound. Waker, and the waker does not come in a vacuum. Waker is a shaker and a mover of things. And where are all these things? The waker is relating to these things which comprise the Jagat. The waker is constantly, the waker is called waker because constantly in a state of transaction. Sitting quietly, the waker would be called dreamer, sleeper. And even if the waker is awake and sitting quietly, internally there is a lot of things happening. So the waker is always interacting, either internally or externally. And that with which the waker interacts, the waker drags in, is the Jagat. The waking world is also comes along with the waker. So stands for the waker and the waking world. And the waking world doesn't come on its own, doesn't walk into a room, here I come, here comes the Jagat. Even though we have a song, here comes the sun, So how does this Jagat come? The Jagat is not without its source, so that source is also talked about here. The waker and the waking world and the truth that connects the two. Amazing. That source which connects the two, because the waker and the waking world, there is a relationship. And what is that relationship? Adhyatma, Adhideva, Adhibhuta. That relationship, is it an internal relationship? Is it a relationship based on, some kind of a interaction? Or is it a relationship of the caused and the, the caused and the cause? Cause and effect. What is the relationship? All this is brought in. Just one syllable, brings in everything. Wow! What a accomplishment. This is a very beautiful insight into Om scripturally. Waker, waking world, subject, object, and that which is beyond subject object, which is free of objectification, which is free of being subject, but without which there is no subject object, all that. So Vishwa comes. Who is Vishwa? Waker. Virat, the truth of the waker, also comes into the picture. And then next one. Who? Who is dreamer. Don't ask why. This is how the Upanishad has loaded these meanings. And the dreamer also doesn't come alone. The dreamer comes with a rich internal dreaming world. And what is this dreaming world? The dreaming world is a world of possibilities, a world of knowledge, a world of memory, a world of creativity, where all kinds of subtle things happen. It's a subtle world. And Vishwa and Virat. And the dreamer is called Taijasa. Taijasa, and this is at the level of the individual. At the level of the collective, what is that? Oh, Hiranya Garbha. The world of subtle possibilities, like the individual dreamer, Ishvara in the form of the one that is bringing forth the Jagat. Is in the what? You can't really call it planning stage because there is no stages. But what is the equivalent of that? It's a subtle manifestation. Because the subtle has to come before the gross. So Ishvara, from the standpoint of possibilities and the subtle manifestation before the gross comes to fruition, is called Hiranyagarbha. And the individual and is linked to the individual dreamer as Taijasa. How? Because the dreamer is also dealing with a world of possibilities, of knowledge, of memories. Ishvara's whole Jagat is knowledge and memory from the last creation, last round of creation. When the jivas clamor to be created, Ishvara says, oh no, I have to remember what I did last time. Here goes. Why do you want to come? Why do you want to come into being? Because we are unresolved. Because we don't know that we are you. All right, I'll create the Jagat here. So it's the memory from the previous kalpa, from the previous cycle of creation that, is brought, that brings this cycle into being. And it's all knowledge. Everything in the universe is just knowledge. So through the individual dreamer, the product which is the dream is all knowledge. Subtle, but then what? It's made of memory. That's what it is. Hiranyagarbha and Taijasa. Then you have what? Dreamer. Sleeper. Jiva in repose before the next bout of desires hit. You know, in between two desires, one is sleeper. Individually, the sleeper has gone into a causal state of resolution. There is no duality, there are no credit card debts, there is no office to go to, there is nobody to go to the office, there is no office period, there is no home, there is no conflict, no resolution, nothing. There just is I, and that I is in a causal state, unaware of itself. That's why when you wake up, what do you say? I don't even know I slept. I don't know how long I slept. I don't even know I slept. That's why nobody can chart the moment of falling asleep, correct? You can see the moment before, you can see the moment after, but you cannot be the witness to the sleeping state because the I is Agnya. Prakarshena Agnya, unaware, Pragnya, in a state of ignorance. In a state of ignorance, ignorant of itself, ignorant of anything else. And then what is on the collective side? Ishvara. Pragya and Ishvara. Ishvara also, you cannot say Ishvara is asleep. Ishvara is in a state of what? Non-creative state. Non-manifesting, non-creative. Ishvara without the Jagat, where all the names and forms are in repose. And here also at the individual level, all complaints are in repose. Because that's the only names and forms I'm familiar with. They're all in repose, everything is beautiful. In a state of that causal state is called Pragya Ishvara. Pragya at the individual level, Ishvara collective. Taijasa, individual dreamer. And then what? The Hiranyagarbha, the possibilities at the collective level. And then Vishva, the waker. And then Virat at the collective level, the waking world, and the connection between the two. But then which is Brahman? Or all three? All three? All three? Are you sure?
Yes.
Is this a trick question?
Yes.
Well, in a way it is all three, but in a way it transcends all three. It has to. So what comes after Om? What comes? Nothing. And that nothing is called silence. Correct? That silence is from where, which is the source of the next Om. Correct? Om, waker, dreamer, sleeper, and what, waking world, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara in repose. Who are you? Who am I? None of the three. Oh, okay, I better shut up. That's it. That's it right there. So then the people were right all along. Om is equal to silence. So silence is the truth of me. Yes, so please shut up. That's all I have to say. Don't talk. It's not that the silence is the truth of you. Silence here is the upalakshana. It is an indicator. What is indicated by the silence is the truth of you. We are talking of a truth that is neither opposed to conversation nor is it opposed to silence. It is neither conversation nor silence. And so that after the ma, one goes into silence because the next om has to come. Even if you say om, 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 there is a small silence there. Correct? And that silence is the cause of the next Om. And that cause is a causeless cause, and it is not really a cause, it is simply a source. It's that consciousness which is awareness, which is you. Because in that silence there is no waker, no dreamer, no sleeper waiting to wake and complain. Wake up and complain. All that is there is you. So that silence is Brahman without Jagat. And the Om is Brahman plus Jagat. You can take it like that. And the Mandukya Upanishad gives a beautiful derivation of the Makara, and it says like the Mimite. Mimite means it's like taking a measuring cup. You take a measuring cup for grain, and you take out the grain and then you put it into something else. That whole action of measuring, really the unmeasurable, is like the chanting of the Om, where there is neither increase nor depletion, and after the measuring there is a place of inertia and inactivity, and then the measuring starts again. It's a very beautiful metaphor that's given. So here it's like Om marks time and space, and that silence is that timeless, spaceless I. That's what it is. Om, Om, Om. You can feel it. And that truth, which is just, it cannot even be talked about. It can only be indicated. The A, U, Ma are indicators. Very beautifully, it is Swarupa Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana in one. That's why it's complicated. And then what? The silence is you. That silence, that which is indicated by that silence is you. And so therefore, Om Vedically represents Brahman as Ishvara, Brahman as the truth of oneself, Brahman as indicated by that which is neither A nor U nor but without which all three cannot survive. And just like that, on the individual level, you are the waker, correct? Waker is you. You cannot say somebody else woke up. I am still asleep, the neighbor woke up. No, you woke up. Who went to sleep? You cannot say similarly, my friend went to sleep, I woke up. No, it is your sleep. And you cannot say this dream cannot be mine, it must be somebody else's dream. It's your own dream. So, the waker cannot exist without you. You lend your satta, your existence and your spurti, your sentience to the dreamer. And likewise, there is no sleeper without you. But are you the waker? Say no quickly. No. Are you the dreamer? No. Are you the sleeper? What are you? You are that which is neither the waker, nor the dreamer, nor the sleeper, but without whom the waker cannot exist, without whom the dreamer is not, without whom the sleeper is not the sleeper. So then, but who is this I? That I, how to understand this I? That which is self-luminous need not be understood through a proof, a pramana. That you already understand, it need not be objectified, it cannot be objectified, it is you. It can only be indicated, and that indication is done by the silence. So therefore, even though it is called Turiya, short for Chaturiya, there is no Turiya. People just get this so wrong, it is painful. Turiya state. How to get into the Turiya state? It's not a state, it is you. Only state is state of origin, no other state. It's neither an estate nor a state, it is you. It's not a fourth estate. You know what's the fourth estate? Press. The press is called the fourth estate. During the French Revolution, it was a big thing. So it's neither the state nor an estate, it is you. And I have given this metaphor before, this example. It's like this person lives somewhere in a place. Let's say he lives in a state, in some boring state, Kansas or something. Nobody knows much about it, and everybody, his geography in America is very challenged. So people don't even bother to learn. What is the greatness of Kansas? People don't know, so they assume it's just some boring state in the middle. Nothing to talk about, not great mountains, no ocean, nothing. It's just their landlocked state. And so the person is of good means financially and buys a timeshare in Florida beach, goes there in the winter, correct? And then buys another timeshare in Colorado, goes there to other half of the winter to go skiing. And then what? Wants to buy one more timeshare and wants some nice desert, goes to Arizona and buys one more timeshare. And so while he meets the people, shakes hands with people in a club in Florida, when he goes to play golf, are you from here? You are from Florida? No, I'm from Kansas. I'm just visiting. Then what? Goes to Colorado again, meets somebody over coffee. Are you from here? No, I'm from Kansas. What is that? I'm just visiting. Goes to Arizona, meets a lizard that is sun tanning next to him. Lizard, if it can talk, what would it say? Are you from Arizona? No, gecko. That's what it says. No. I'm from where? Kansas. I'm not from here. I'm just visiting. That is, Kansas is equal to Turiya. See, yeah. State is great because it is Turiya. So similarly, are you the waker? You should say, no, I'm just a visitor. Are you the dreamer? No, I'm a visitor. Are you a sleeper? Definitely I'm the visitor because the alarm goes off so quickly. You see our problem. Our problem is that we can easily negate the dreaming state, easily negate the sleeping state. But the waking state you feel is your real home. That is the cause of all problems. Think about it. That is samsara. To think of the waking state as the real home and not a timeshare. Because if this Kansas man overstayed the timeshare in Florida, let us say Florida is stands for the waking state, and the other people who have bought time will just boot him out. Will be very annoyed. And they'll give all kinds of eviction notices, and they'll give all kinds of problems. They will lock the door and not let him get inside the property, and all kinds of things happen. And so too, over-identification with the waker brings a lot of misery. This is what is the crux of samsara, because in sleep there is no samsara. And the dream samsara is easy to falsify, because it is also dependent upon the memories made and the knowledge, gained in the waking state. The waking state is the big Ravana here, the demon that has to be addressed. So in the morning, that Pratha Smarana, all this is very important to chant. And it all is about waking up properly. I have found that. When you wake up properly means with the correct priorities in mind and at hand, then all these things don't bother. You can, laugh your way through the day. Otherwise one gets embroiled and entangled in a very, very difficult manner. And so the waking state needs some work. And that's why we have this mantra, which we'll see some other time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Questions? Any questions?